Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy, and if you're new here, I tell stories in The Sims and help you improve your gameplay. Today I'm doing a review video of Neighborhood Stories, a new feature that's just been released for The Sims 4 that is kind of their attempt at adding some type of story progression into the game. I have to be honest, I'm a little bit skeptical of this because we already have a mod called MC Command Center that does story progression and does it very well with lots of customization options for the player. I'm hoping this might be a good feature for people who don't like to use mods or don't want to use mods, and for console players as well, since they're not able to use the mods that we can use on PC. Maybe this will add some story progression to help improve their games at least. So we're going in now with an open mind to try it out and see how it really impacts gameplay. I'll be using my fixed Sims 4 base game so that all of our Sims have friends already, because as part of this neighborhood stories or story progression feature, it's only going to impact the Sims that your Sim knows or is friends with. So we're going to play the BFF family today, since they have numerous friends throughout the neighborhood in my fixed save file. I have no mods whatsoever enabled, no MC Command Center, no cheats, nothing. I'm just going to start playing as I normally would, and we'll see what happens. Out of curiosity, I went to check the gameplay options and I don't see any option to disable this or opt out of this neighborhood stories feature. So it looks like you are stuck with it once you update your game. But because of the way this is supposed to work with the other Sims in the neighborhood calling your Sim to ask them if they can have babies or whatever, I guess you can kind of opt out by ignoring that or allowing the other Sim to decide. We'll see. I've invited over one of Liberty's friends, Alice Spencer Kim, and see if we can convince her to do something, because that's another part of these neighborhood stories, is that you can now convince Sims to go after their dream job, or I'm not exactly sure what all the options are. We'll find out. So right here, we can choose, well, we can't choose, but there is the option to ask Alice to pursue their dream job. Liberty should find out what Alice's current career is before asking the question. So let's ask about her career. She's a stay-at-home mom, okay? And now if we click on her again and go to friendly, now we can ask her to pursue her dream job, and let's see what happens. Liberty just left that conversation to brutally dance. So let's try again. Although I appreciate your interest, Liberty, it's been one of those days. I'd prefer to talk about something else if you don't mind. So it didn't work. It doesn't always work. You can ask other Sims to pursue their dream job, or I guess maybe it should be encourage them to. I mean, that's cool if you want to do that. This is not really the way I prefer to play, and I would much rather this have been a more Sims 3 type of story progression, where Alice would have just pursued the career that made the most sense for her personality without me having to encourage her to do it, just doing it on her own. So neighborhood stories to me so far does not seem to be story progression as we know it from like The Sims 3. I saw another option here. Discuss expanding family. Oh, Alice does not seem to like that. She says, as wonderful as that sounds, I'm not in a position where I feel comfortable doing that at the moment. So I do like that your Sims will turn down the offers of their friends. Like, yeah, thanks for caring about me, but I don't think I'm gonna go get that job or have that baby right now, but I appreciate the thought. And these options only show up for Sims that are not in your current household. I'm clicking on Travis to see if I could ask him to pursue his dream job, and it doesn't work, obviously, because you have control over him, so you can just have him pursue his dream job if you want to. So now we're gonna try something different. If we click on Alice Kim and go to friendly, we're gonna go to other Sims and choose talk up another Sim, and then we're gonna choose Travis Scott, and we're gonna see, I'm pretty sure this already existed in the game before, but now I guess it has more impact or something. Wow, Liberty, I wasn't aware that you felt so strongly about Travis. He seems like good company. I'll chat with him soon. And then she went over to start chatting with him through the wall, apparently, and she's gonna go and compliment him. So it actually does have some impact. And then she decides she didn't really like Travis after all. Are you sure we're talking about the same person? Travis wasn't so great, so she did not like him after she went and talked to him. That's pretty cool, actually. She went and talked to Travis. She didn't like what she heard, and she was like, yeah, Liberty, I don't really care for him, but thank you anyway. I've invited over Summer's friend Eliza Pancakes, and we're gonna try the same thing on her. We're gonna discuss expanding the family. I'm glad you brought this up, Summer. I've been thinking the same. Let me chat with Bob and I'll get back to you. So I think she did influence Eliza to talk to Bob about them having a baby. Now let's ask her about her career. She's a stay-at-home mom. Now we're asking her to pursue her dream job, which appears to be science? Although I appreciate your interest, Summer, it's been one of those days. I'd prefer to talk about something else if you don't mind. So she did not accept. I wonder how their dream job is calculated. Is it just random, or does it actually have to do with their personality? Because Eliza doesn't really seem like the science type to me. So I'd like to know how that's determined. Okay, so I just heard back from Eliza Pancakes. It was about 2 days later. She just called back and told Summer, baby news, Bob and I are pregnant, and I wanted to make sure you heard it from me first. So I actually think that's pretty cool in a way. I like the idea that your sim can actually affect change on the neighborhood and on other sims, but at the same time, I would prefer if Bob and Eliza decided to have a baby on their own without me having to encourage it. 'Cause it's a little bit weird to me to think like my friend comes over to hang out and I'm like, hey girl, you should have a baby. And then she calls me back 2 days later and is like, yeah girl, I just got knocked up. Thanks for the advice. Like, I don't know. It just feels a little unnatural to me. I do like the fact that it actually does what it's supposed to. And if you do want to encourage another sim to have a child, you can. So pros and cons so far. And then Summer got a happy +1 moodlet for a friend's expecting from someone you know becoming pregnant. I've been playing the BFF household for almost an entire sim week, and I have not received one phone call from any of their friends asking my permission to make any life changes. So at my first concern with this whole neighborhood stories thing is that it was going to be very intrusive, very invasive. You would get bombarded with phone calls from your neighbor sims. But that has not happened so far. I haven't even received one. I would like to have at least received one for the purpose of this video, so I'm going to keep playing until we get one, and maybe I'll need to encourage our sims to make a few more friends. Out of curiosity, I went to check in on the Pancakes because I saw Eliza walking by and she didn't look pregnant. She's already had her baby. As you can see here, we have one baby in the household, but I did not get a notification or anything that she gave birth, so I don't think that's part of the neighborhood stories, at least not yet. But I'm just going to jump over here so we can see what they named the baby. I think it'd be kind of cool if we got a little pop-up like your friend Eliza just gave birth to a baby named so-and-so, kind of like we get with MC Command Center. But that was not the case. Darian Pancakes. Oh, I just got a call from Eliza Pancakes. Bob and I just welcomed home our new baby. Are you able to stop by? So, okay, I guess you do get some kind of notification. It was just like the next day. So yeah, let's head over there and see the new baby. So that's kind of nice. And that's actually more realistic than just a pop-up in the corner, like your friend is calling your sim, telling them we just had a new baby, do you want to come over and see it? Well, where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. And the crib is just right up against Eliza's bed, because that's how babies spawn in this game. Okay, Summer reached parenting level 1 from cooing at her friend's baby. Not crazy about that. That makes no sense. I've cooed at plenty of babies. I have 0 parenting skill. Summer also got a +2 happy moodlet called Baby Joy from someone you know having a baby. What could possibly be more adorable than seeing a newborn baby? Kittens, puppies, bunnies, baby deer, pretty much any animal in my opinion. Okay, so we got our first phone call from a neighbor sim regarding the neighborhood stories. Mila is calling Summer and asking, it's good to hear your voice, Summer. I wanted to ask you if I should get to know Liberty Lee a little better. They seem like good company. And we can say, of course, building friendships is a must. Socializing is always fun, but that's your choice. And it pains me to say this, but no. So I'm going to say yes, because Liberty and Summer are good friends. So I'm going to say yes. My other friend Mila should get to know Liberty so we can all be BFFs together. So I guess the middle choice is leaving it up to the sim. It's their choice, or we can say yes or no. I'm going to say yes in this case. I don't know what impact that's going to have on the actual gameplay. Liberty does not have a relationship with Mila at this point, so I don't know if she's going to come over or call her or what? Oh, here she comes walking down the street. I think she might be coming over to actually get to know Liberty. All right, we will have her invite her in, have a friendly introduction. Hello, nice to meet you. And that's it. They didn't get any kind of relationship boost or anything like that. But she did come immediately over to the house to meet Liberty, I assume. And by the way, it took 9 days before I got that single phone call from a neighbor sim. So I don't know if it happens more frequently the more friends you have, but it honestly is not intrusive like I thought it would be. It's really not that bad. So I just checked in on the Pancakes family, and little Iggy has aged up to a child, which was their son when I started playing the game. And then their new little baby Darian has aged up to a toddler, so they're over there aging, living their lives on their own. Of course, your Sims can age on their own without this new update, but it's just fun to see their little family growing without you playing them. And now for my final thoughts regarding the new neighborhood stories for The Sims 4. Surprisingly, it's not terrible. It really didn't feel like it added that much to the game. We do have to keep in mind this is only phase 1 of neighborhood stories, and they will be adding more over time. But as it stands right now, it wasn't that bad. I do have to say, it is not story progression as we know it from The Sims 3. If you are going into this expecting a full-blown story progression where your Sims live their lives completely outside of your control, having babies, getting jobs, moving into different houses, getting married, that is not what it is. Basically, what I've shown you in this video is what it is. You'll get phone calls. Your Sims will ask you, should I hang out with so-and-so? Should I have a baby? Should I take such and such a job? And you'll say yes or no, or you decide. And then you can also talk directly to Sims and encourage them to pursue a job or expand their family, or even get married. But that's the extent of it right now. I think a lot of people are disappointed by this update because they wanted real story progression in The Sims 4. Story progression like it was in The Sims 3, and that's just not what it is. I think that's why they didn't name it story progression. They named it neighborhood stories. If you keep that in mind and just look at it as a feature on its own, not comparing it to previous story progression, it's really not that terrible. Most of the features you can pretty much ignore if you don't want to use them, such as encouraging Sims to do things. You don't have to do that. And then if you get a phone call, you can just tell your Sims to decide on their own and you don't have to make that decision. So it's really not as annoying and obtrusive as I thought it would be when I first heard about this. And the fact that I only got one phone call from one of my Sims friends in 9 days, they really don't come up that much. So if you were afraid to update your game because you thought this was going to take over and ruin your save files and just destroy everything, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact. I think you're good to update. And I mean, I don't hate it. As someone who prefers to play rotationally and play all the Sims in my world and not have my Sims living their lives outside of my control, I don't hate this feature. I could take it or leave it, to be honest with you. I don't need this in the game. I didn't particularly want it, but I don't hate it, and it doesn't seem to impact my game that much. I was particularly concerned about how it was going to affect my rotational games, and I just don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. If you've had a chance to play with the new neighborhood stories in this update, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Are you looking forward to updates in the future? One cool thing that they have confirmed they're going to add to neighborhood stories is the ability to toggle it on and off for individual households, and I love that level of customization when it comes to my games, and I'm sure you do too. I wish there was a way to just completely disable it, like you could disable story progression in The Sims 3. I don't see that so far, but that may be something coming in the future. So yeah, just let me know what you think about it. I'd love to hear your opinion on these features and things that come out for The Sims 4, so let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and visit my website at PleasantSims.com for my Sims 4 mods list, gameplay rules, game guides, challenges, all kinds of cool Sim stuff there. My name is Cindy, and I will see you with a new video very soon. Thank you so much for watching.